Hi, I'm Doug Marks with Mental Method Video Guitar Lessons. For this tutorial, I'm using a few tablature files from my lessons. If you want to play along at home using the same tab, go to learn-guitarpro.com. Once again, don't forget the dash, learn-guitarpro.com. Fill out the form and receive the lesson materials in just seconds. Now, these materials include a menu with the list of locations in minutes and seconds for all of the topics covered here. As you'll see, I move through this stuff very quickly, and this menu will come in handy when you want to use any of these techniques that you didn't catch as I burned through this stuff. This tutorial has two parts. The first section will help if you haven't installed the Guitar Pro software yet. The second part explains the basic functions of the program. Now, if you have already installed Guitar Pro on your computer, you might want to just skip to the Getting Started that can be found at this location on this video. Guitar Pro is the animated tab player that we use to help students master the playing exercises in our program. I don't think there's a faster way to master this stuff than to play along with the included Guitar Pro tab. Now, one of the great things about Guitar Pro is you set the tempo and play along at the exact speed that's right for you. Then over time, gradually increase the tempo as your performance improves. We include on-screen animated tab with many of our programs. Even this tab was created with Guitar Pro. On-screen tab is helpful. I mean, actually it's pretty great, but it does have its limitations. The tempo may be faster or slower than your current skill level. And one thing's for sure, as you improve, the on-screen tab tempos are not going to change. Before getting started with the on-screen lessons, I'll mention a couple of other things about the program. There are complete songs to learn that can be downloaded from the Guitar Pro website, and songs available all over the internet. Guitar Pro includes real sound samples of instruments, guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, and much more. It's a full-on MIDI sequencer. It can read and write MIDI files and export in many different formats, including audio files. Yes, you can export backing tracks of your own creation to jam with. Upload them to your phone and play along at any time. You can even write bass and drum parts for your guitar tracks. This allows you to create your own killer backing tracks that you can play with at any tempo. I include Guitar Pro backing tracks with most of my lessons. You can also export the tab to print a copy for your collection. Now, once you've purchased Guitar Pro, simply download the program. Find it on your computer, probably in the Downloads folder. Double-click on the file, and the install process will begin. It's that easy. Guitar Pro will be up and running in a couple of minutes, and that's all you need to do to get started. But I highly recommend going one step further. You should download the RSE sound banks. RSE stands for Realistic Sound Engine, and it is just that. These instrument samples will make Guitar Pro sound real. If you already own Guitar Pro, how do you know if the sound banks have been installed? You would know. They are large files that take at least a half hour to download. So if your installation was completed in 5 minutes, you still need to install the sound banks. If so, go to the Guitar Pro website, log into My Account. Once there, the first option is to download Guitar Pro. This allows you to reinstall the program or install it on another computer. Below that option are the sound banks. Just click Download. When the download is complete, double-click on the file and it will quickly install. The installation process is that simple. Ready to get started? Good, let's go. First, I'll double-click on the A natural minor file to open it in Guitar Pro. To begin playing the tab, simply use your mouse to left-click on the place where you would like to begin. I'll click at the beginning of the first measure. Either press the space bar or click on the play icon to play this. To pause, click on the icon or press the space bar. Click on the beginning of the third measure to begin playing at that point. Click on the far left icon on the transport to go to the beginning of the file. Click on the far right icon on the transport to go to the end of the tab. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the cursor to the end of the selection. Press play to play the selection. At the far right of the transport is the loop icon. Click on it. If it's not selected already, left click on Simple Loop. Click on OK. Now press play. That could be very helpful to learn a two-measure part, like a lick, but you've got to know where to start. Being able to loop a part is great for learning difficult sections of licks, leads, and songs. But to play along with the section, you need a 4-beat count-in. Otherwise, you press play, and before you can grab your guitar, the loop begins without you. You're in luck. Guitar Pro has two different metronomes. One plays throughout the song, as most metronomes do. The other is special. It plays a 4-beat count-in. That way, you can press play, the count-in will begin as you grab your guitar and begin to play. At the bottom right of the Guitar Pro window are the two metronomes. Click the metronome on the right. Now click on the play icon. I'm going to open another tab file to show the benefits of looping. To make this easier to see, I'll go to the bottom left of the screen. Click on the 100% icon and I'll select 200% to resize the tab. I'll press the space bar to play the lick. The count-in metronome only gives the count-in before the beginning of the loop. Then the loop continues playing from beginning to end until you press pause. That's great for scales and sequences. But when you're practicing a lick or other section of a song, it's helpful to have a count-in at the beginning of each loop. Guitar Pro can do this. I'll click on the loop icon twice to open the loop window and click on Repeat the countdown. Click on OK, then play. I'll click on the loop icon to turn off the loop function. I'll also click on the Count in Metronome to turn that function off. The tempo is set at 90 beats per minute. You can change the tempo by clicking on the tempo window at the bottom right. Click on the 90. You can change the tempo in this window, but let's not because we'll need to return to this tempo once we know the lick. Close this window by selecting OK. Click on the window at the bottom right of your screen that says 100%. Click on 50%. Now the selected measures will play at half speed. That's slow enough for you to begin practicing the lick. I would like a metronome beat during the measure, so I'll go to the bottom right of the screen and select the metronome on the left. This is the metronome that will be playing during the measure. To hear the metronome clearly, you may need to turn down the guitar volume. The track volume is at the bottom left of your screen. You can also solo or mute the instrument here. To give you an idea of how backing tracks sound, I'll open a song file. This is Can't Fall in Love from the sample files. Notice that I can go back to our earlier compositions by simply clicking on the tab at the top. You can see in the bottom left of the Guitar Pro window that this file has guitar, electric bass, and drum kit. Let's say you want to play along without guitar. Go to the bottom left and mute the guitar. So now you're listening to just the bass and drums. I'll unmute the guitar. As you click on each instrument, you can view the tab that's associated with that track. I'll go back to the diatonic pattern now. If you read standard notation or enjoy looking at the notation along with the tab for rhythmic values, go to Track, Properties, and click on Standard for standard notation. Okay, it's that easy to view or hide standard notation. Composing and editing tab is beyond the scope of this getting started tutorial, but I do want to show you a couple of the basics to get you started. It's really easy to create copies of your favorite songs or even to write original compositions. Guitar players don't have a problem writing guitar parts and bass parts, but drum parts can be challenging. That's why guys like me cheat. I just copy and paste from my collection of MIDI drum parts. Or you can take a look around the internet and borrow the drums from existing Guitar Pro tab. All you do is open the tab you're borrowing from, along with your own composition, then copy and paste. As I'll show you shortly, you can even select instruments like a Les Paul guitar or a Strat, a 7-string guitar. You can select odd tunings, effects, and much more. You can also choose from a wide range of instruments that include everything from piano to saxophone. So right now, I'll show you the basics of creating tab. For this exercise, I'll clear the current tab by selecting all and using the cut command. Now I'll click on the 6th string and enter 3 from my keyboard. So that's a G note on the 6th string, 3rd fret. I can go up to the left corner and select different note values, whole note, half note, quarter, eighth, even dotted eighth by selecting the dot. I'll go back to the quarter note. Then I'll select the first note and use the arrow keys to enter another note. Then I'll enter a third note and make it a half note. That completes the measure, 4 beats. Then use the right arrow key to move on to the second measure. It's that easy. To the left, I can choose the instrument. Below that, the effect pedal. Next are rack effects. Below that, chord symbols. And below that, lyrics. Musical symbols are accessed using the top icon, the musical note. We've covered a lot today. If you're viewing this on the internet, be sure to bookmark this video for future reference. The additional materials feature a menu of locations for every topic in the video, and that will definitely come in handy. Go through this tutorial a time or two each day for the next week, and you'll almost be an expert. I hope that you've enjoyed my Guitar Pro tutorial. Guitar Pro is a great program.